This is Lighting ESL. Why are my eyes closed? Take a look on the board. Roughly in the world, we have 8 billion people. Out of the 8 billion people, 2 billion speak English, which is about 18%. Do you? There's like a crisis in the English language. More and more people are wanting to speak English, but access to learning in a school environment or online is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. What that means is international students or any students around the world want to learn English. There's different types of English. International English, global English, your English, my English, English for word when it comes to business, online, communication. A big problem is people. They refuse to learn the language. In other words, they learn other languages, which is great. They know English is out there, but they figure, why should I learn? What for? You're staying in your own world, your own bubble. That's the problem. If I go to France, if I go to Germany, if I go to your country, my country, and so on, I have to learn to communicate in your language as well as mine. That's right. Most people in the world know at least 2 languages. 2. If you're born in Europe, which is very small in area compared to here in Canada, you're surrounded by different languages and you absorb it like a sponge. It's amazing. But remember again on the board, the majority of people speak English. All right? They also speak Mandarin of the Chinese language. They speak Hindi, they speak Spanish, they speak Portuguese, and so on and so on and so on. What I'm saying is, in today's world, there are more and more people refusing to learn English in all its context and all its strange things going on. They refuse to learn. Why should I learn? Why should I learn? If you're going to an English-speaking country, you have to learn the language if you want to communicate and do well in that country. If you want to just basically absorb yourself using your language into different sectors in that country, that's fine. But you're going to find many times there's people who speak out to you, why can't you speak this language? Why can't you speak that language? So again, if you want to absorb yourself into that world over there or over there, you have to learn English as one of the languages. In many universities, if you want to get a credit, in other words, you go out of Canada into your country, I have to communicate basic conversation in your country to get a credit for that degree. That's how it works. Yeah. Many people go on universities here in Canada and took international credits. They went to France, they went to Germany, went to Finland, and so on. You had to learn basic conversation of that language of that country. That's how you succeed. I'm not asking you to memorize every single word of the dictionary. There's thousands of words of that dictionary, of course. But English is a common term around the planet. It is. And the biggest excuse I hear now is, I don't want to learn because I don't have to. Well, guess what? I've seen so many international students come to Canada and they pass their so-called TOEFL, teaching of English language, and guess what? They can't write a sentence. That's embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. They can't sign their name in English. They can go on a keyboard, but what happens if the keyboard's not around and it dies? No electricity, no battery. What are you going to do? You're going to go like this and pray? Or have somebody else write it for you? Which is so often happens. I've seen so many students in my class. It's very obvious. Somebody wrote the exams, English exams, link exams for them, TOEFL exams for them. I asked them to go to the board and write a sentence, and they can't. Verbally, they can speak English. That's great. But I asked them to write it down. Show me. Come on, show me. Blank stare. What am I going to do? I can't write English. Well, according to your transcript and your resume and so on, you did. Well, what happened? And a lot of schools teaching English, as well as accepting English people from around the world, international students, their transcripts say this, their transcripts say that. They go to write the test, the truth comes out. It really, really does. It's embarrassing beyond belief. And they're crying their eyes out, but sir, but sir, but sir. Well, guess what? If I'm going to your country, don't I have to learn the language? Yeah. It's amazing how the brain works. If you force yourself and your brain to do something, When it comes to learning a language, slowly, carefully, step by step, it will. It's amazing. But to refuse it right away, why should I accept? Why? Why? Humanitarian reasons? To a point? Yeah, to a point. But as the filtering, I guess you could say, getting people into your country and that country, you have to learn the basic language to understand what people are communicating to you. In the written form, verbal form, you hear it, you see it, you say it, etc. Listening, reading, writing, talking, etc. Here at Lightning ESL, I'm trying to help people learn the English language and also public speaking. It's not a matter of just memorizing every single word in the dictionary. You've memorized it. When do I use that word? How do I pronounce that word? Why do I use this word versus that word? Can you give a speech in front of a boss or a fellow co-worker or whatever it is, more than 5 seconds, yes and no? That's what I'm trying to do. So get on the board. 8 billion people in this world. 2 billion of them speak English. International English, global English, whatever you might call it for certain baselines and so on. You have to learn the basics of the English language if you want to communicate anywhere on this planet. It's true. It's true. Your first language might be this, your second language might be that, your third language, but obviously in there somewhere is usually the English language. It is. Somewhere in that stream of languages around the world. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you public speaking, English language. Till next time, thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.